Hey, what's going on, good people? Armand Owens here once again with the Daily Unsung Leadership Nugget. And today, I want to talk a little bit about the dangers of familiarity. And what do I mean when I talk about familiarity? Um, what I mean is you have established a connection, you've established rapport, with the people that you have the privilege of leading, and you have those one or two personnel, in your department, in your division, that you have a lot in common with. You may both be watching the same season of insert show here. You may be interested in the same sports and things of that nature, and through that, you develop a friendship. You develop a kinship where there may be situations where you're having a cookout, or you're having a few drinks together, and you're growing together as friends. Meanwhile, you are the person that is in charge of the entire team. Um, that is a dangerous situation. A dangerous situation. One of the things that you have to remember as a leader is that familiarity breeds contempt. Familiarity breeds contempt. There has to be that separation, that exists between somebody who works for you and you as the leader, not only to protect yourself but to protect them as well. Because there's going to be times where the person that you interact with on that level does something wrong at work, does something that is less than favorable, and you're going to have to confront that person. You're going to have a sit down. You're going to have to counsel them. You have to sit down and say, hey, look, my expectations for this thing was at this level, and you performed at this level. Well, when you have established that relationship that kind of transcends the work relationship, um, the reception, there's a great chance that the reception on that person's level is not going to be high, and the likelihood of them taking it personal, it increases as well, right? So you run, into those barriers when you establish a relationship like that. That's why they talk about familiarity breeds contempt, right? And that contempt is the person that you lead. That contempt is held towards you, right? Because you still have to hold them accountable. You still have to be the leader. You still have to hold the standard. And there are times where people don't have the level of maturity, to handle the relationship that you built, also the leadership relationship that is still expected. So you have to be cautious. For me, when I was a chief of the boat, I limited the amount of people that called me by my first name. If we're in the chief's mess on the boat, and we were just hanging out, my name was Cobb. My name was Cobb. Um, and I never wanted there to be any ambiguity, any question on the distinction between who's the leader, and who's the follower, because you never want that contempt to manifest at the wrong time, when you need action to be taken now, and you may give it in a tone that may not be favorable, but because it's not being received well because of the relationship that you've established, you may not get the response that you're looking for. There's all kinds of things that can manifest out of establishing a relationship that increases the level of familiarity, um, because the personal feelings get brought in. There's a sense from the person that is that you've established that relationship with, that now you're picking on, you're personally, you're taking that person is taking things personal, and you never want to get to that point. So make sure, and I'm not saying not to establish rapport, not saying to build those connections. I'm not even saying not to have people over to the house, because I think all of those things go well to establishing that connection, that synergy, for your team. But when you're talking about on an individual level, when you're talking about, hey, me and this person, or these couple of people, and kind of excluding everybody else, are going to go and do something, that's where things can get extremely problematic, because everybody on the outside also could say that you're showing favoritism, right? And it could be completely unconscious, but because you establish a relationship, you guys like each other, and now you can count on them, and it's easy for you to say, hey, go get this, go take care of this for me, or pick this person for the next, ascension, level, whatever the case may be, right? So you have to be mindful of that. And there are people out there, leaders, there are people out there that will try to take advantage of that situation. Hey, we're friends, or we have a friend like relationship, and they will try to manipulate you in that situation, try to manipulate the situation for themselves, knowing that they have established this relationship. So they try to influence you in a way that favors them. So you got to be cautious. You got to keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, and just be wary. I'm not saying push people away. I'm not saying be a prick about it. I'm not saying that you can't be nice, you can't be friendly or anything like that. I'm not saying that you can't even have conversations about TV shows or things that don't involve work. All I'm saying is be mindful of how your leadership posture could be compromised by the level of familiarity that you've established with the people in your team. So keep that in mind. And got any questions about that, please let me know. Like, share, comment. Let me know what you think. And I'll be back here tomorrow with another one. On Son Leader Out. Peace.